was the main stakeholder in the Barings Bank. It was, there is a movie made on this Barings Banks. It's called Rogue Trader. One man single-handedly wiped out $800 million. On the online casinos, there is a casino named 888.com. I'm not giving you the wrong suggestion to go on the casino website, but that 888 came from the concept of that guy. I think it's a rogue trader called Nick Leeson. The person was Nick Leeson, a trader. He was a small data input operator, promoted to a trading level, gone into the bench, made huge profits. What he did to make the profit, he hid down all the losses into one account. I'm sure we are all aware of the term sundry accounts. He created in the IT system a sundry account called 888. Based on that concept, some other company went ahead and created a casino, 888.com. Now he hid about 700 million pounds of losses in that account. So whatever he was making the money, he was showing in the P&L. He was taking that money out, putting it into the sundry account, which was never audited. Well, not never audited. People wanted to audit it, but he always hid it. For one or the other reason, he bribed people. He basically manipulated in terms of like their relationships. Say, oh, we'll check this account. Don't worry, it's all fine. It's all under control. When they run the check on his account under his name, everything was fine. He was making £10 million a year. His bonus was going up to 2-3 million. The guy was arrested in Singapore. He was deported, well, not deported, he was imprisoned. I respect this man very much. Not for his crime, but for his strength. He was in prison in Singapore. He turned his worst situation into best opportunity. Now he delivers a lecture for about £50,000 per hour. He's got a consultancy firm. He goes in and tells people, Nick Leeson, he goes in and tells people what not to do to get your company bankrupt. See, everyone tells you how to do the business, but if somebody comes and tells you, don't do these things, and your business will be fine. That's the key. So Nick Leeson is making millions. He's one of the major icons in the banking industry. People look up to him and say, okay, this is the guy we go. Nobody takes a business advice from him. Somebody recently asked him, Nick Leeson, that you got a business consulting firm and you're providing business advice to the company. And he said, it would be very wrong of me to say that I am providing a business advice because I made Queen's Bank bankrupt. I'm not giving business advice. What I am doing is simply providing advice how not to run business. And that is your upward trend. So if I tell you how to climb the stairs, or if I tell you how not to fall from the stairs, it's one and the same thing. But his experiences and expertise, the guy suffered cancer. He was in prison for about 4 years in Singapore, which are very, very difficult conditions in Singapore for the prisoners. Not that I have been there, but it's known in the movie that they've shown that these are the things that gone through him. But he came out very strong. It shows his strong personality, that how he turned his loss into an opportunity. So that's gone off the track again, but we come back to it. It was just to highlight that how failure of the operational control for Nick Leeson was the audit department, who did not look at the sundry account balance going to 800 million. Secondly, operational control people, flight from London to Singapore, did not check the account. Third, the main thing is we turn a blind eye to the mistakes of the people who are successful. That's our biggest mistake. Somebody has a good reputation, they come onto the stage, they speak to the people, apart from myself, obviously. We look at them that they know everything and they are the good people. In the world of organization, in the world of enterprise, that is not correct. In the world of enterprise, you need to check the accounts. As a financial accountant, as financial controllers, financial managers, We need to focus, we need to look at the numbers objectively, not subjectively. We don't look at someone's face and say, okay, the numbers you provide is correct. We need to run the test. We need to find out whether the numbers are correct or not. We need to find out whether the balance sheet agrees. And one of the tips that I've been given from several professors and senior gurus of financial accounting, if you see a balance sheet, first, second, or third draft, and it balances 100%, go back to the people and ask them to redo it. There's the simple. I think some of you have experienced in the exams, the balance sheet never balances. That is true in the real life. I've seen several balance sheets. For example, if you take 12 balance sheets a year, or probably 24, 34 balance sheets for several organizations, big banks. And we always have differences, although we round it in billions. So it eliminates. It just gets dissolved because of the materiality of the transactions. But if you get exact match to the penny, my advice to you, recheck. Ask the questions from the people, the right questions, not the wrong question. Why did you do it wrong? The question to ask is, how did we do it? Because if you say, why did you do it wrong, the perception of the person is already against you. They'll give you any answer to cover their back. The right question is to ask, how we come about it. Can you show it to me, please? Those are the things that we need to keep in mind when we conduct the audit. I think it's 7:20, and as we discussed that we'll take break at this time for the prayer. So provide control, provide framework for control. That is your job. Accountant, financial controllers. No matter which organization you belong, where you work, bank, insurance, manufacturing, anywhere. Say for example, manufacturing industry, control inventory. Try to introduce something which is more profitable. New technologies, new techniques, AutoCAD designs, everything. Yeah. Most important areas are HR hiring policy, IT system policy, and control implementation policies. The emphasis on the control, done it again. So the most important area is to provide the policies for the control. You need to have a written document, you need to have written policies and procedures, and get it approved from the senior management. Get their approval, get them on your side. It is like when you go in the organization, if I am the senior manager, or if you are the senior manager of an organization, you have somebody working for you, new joiner. You have somebody working for you as a new joiner, and they would come in and try to implement something. People will not listen to them. But if you go as a senior person, you go along with them, and then you introduce them as, this is Mr. X, he will be implementing new inventory control system. And if you are the finance director, people will look at that person in the light that he's been introduced by finance director, he's important. This is coming from the top. And if you are a finance director, then if you join the company, take the member of board or member of board of directors along with you, take their commitment along with you. Okay, we had enough of the technology at the moment, so before it was a visual, now it was audio. I hope guys at the back, you can hear me clearly, or do I need to raise the volume? No. Okay, so that's fine. But we come back to it, that we need to have the commitment from the top. So to make that happen, you need to provide them why we need to control those risks. So before we discussed about the risk, how to measure the risk. And we'll go through later on that you need to have a risk matrix, can't speak now. You need to have the risk matrix that will define that what's the frequency, how it's happening, what we are going to do to mitigate those losses. We need to quantify the losses. If I go to my boss or if I go to the director of Deutsche Bank and say, we need to have a risk policy. First question, they will ask me, why? Then I'll say, okay, the reason is there is a risk. They'll say, well, how much?